With Tekken 7 Season 2 just wrapping up, I think it's time that we can finally call Tekken 7 a success. But now that Namco is finally finished, I think it's time that they go back and tie up some other loose ends. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Back in 2012, we were greeted with this gift, which many consider a curse, because technically, it was the beginning to an end of a new franchise. Now, what you have to understand here is that Namco and Capcom both made an agreement in which both companies can use the Street Fighter and Tekken characters to make their own versions of their crossover fighting games. Capcom was the first to go, creating Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Now, it wasn't a bad game to say, but Capcom used some very sneaky tactics to gain a lot of extra money, which kind of made the game really bad in the long term. Like having this weird odd gem system that gives characters buffs when you purchase them didn't really make the game work well at all. It really ruined the experience, and you can see it when playing online matches when somebody pulls out some random gem that heightens their power times 2 or times 3, and it gets wild. But at the same time, I feel like you have to give credit where credit is due. This game did have some unique offline modes. They had this crazy scramble mode where 4 characters would be on screen and battle each other at the same time. A customization mode in which you could change your character, skin, and uniform any color. I'm not gonna lie, all of this in one game kind of makes for a good fighting game, you would think. Unfortunately, it didn't. The game wound up dying pretty quickly, and there's really not much to be said about it from there on. Technically, because there's still a contract that needs to be fulfilled. But that's where Namco comes in. They had a great last couple of years with Tekken 7, and riding off the success of that, there's no telling how popular Tekken Cross Street Fighter can be. Back to Tekken 7 to be exact. When Tekken first released on consoles, it was well received for having a fully fleshed out story and a great combat system, as well as a decent sized roster. Many things in this game were to test to see how Tekken can improve their combat system over time. Tekken 7 came with a whole new group of mechanics that were very different from their previous entries. Mechanics like Power Crush, Rage Drive, Rage Arts, and wall bouncing showed that with each coming Tekken game, they can adapt and bring something new to the table. For people that don't play Tekken, I think from face value it can appear like 2 characters fighting with a lot of sparks flying, but trust me, the depth is there. You know, if you played a game of Tekken, sometimes it's really complicated, just like any fighting game. To people that are new, Harada and his team added a simple mode which has never been done in any Tekken game. Granted, it was kinda late in the game, the beginning of Season 2 to be exact, but Harada was still dedicated to making Tekken as accessible as it can be. Now Tekken fans, do you remember the game Tekken Revolution? It was the game that came out after Tag 2, but before Tag 7. It was almost a sample game, experimenting a lot of different moves that take present in Tekken 7. Well, what I'm trying to say is I believe Season 2 of Tekken 7 is pretty much an experiment to see all the different moves and mechanics that they could try to implement as they step forward into this new game. This new game being Tekken Cross Street Fighter. If you ask me, I feel like they got the hardest part done, which is how you would translate a 2D character into a 3D environment. And they did very well with Akuma, implementing his bar, his Hadokens, his Shurikens, and his Tatsu kicks. It's almost like they found a way to just perfectly fit him into that world. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how they can add people like Gaio or Chun-Li. Cammy can be incredible, Balrog. I can also imagine them implementing some of the great features that they added in Tekken Tag and trying to use that as a way to freshen up the tag system in Tekken Cross Street Fighter as well. Tekken Tag 2 offered a lot of unique ways for you and a friend to do some really interesting combos and work together to win most of the matches. What I enjoyed about Tekken 2 was, like I said, they had a lot of different team combos that you can do while also doing solo combos. So to me, even though the game seemed very unbalanced to a lot of people, it was very fun in that aspect as well. There was always a sense of awareness when playing with your partner in Tekken Tag. Like, even though you weren't in the match tagged in at the moment, you always still had to be focused in, because at any moment in time, you may have a choice to come and save your partner, or he may have to come and tag you in for some help. As of right now, there's no way of telling where both companies want to take their franchises. Tekken has recently just announced Season 3, and Street Fighter has just released 3 characters for Street Fighter 5. So there's definitely going to be some time before Namco can even announce Tekken Cross Street Fighter. But if you ask me, the perfect time would be somewhere in between the 2021 marker, because it'd be fresh for the new consoles like PlayStation 5 and Xbox One. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As I grow this channel, I want to remind you I appreciate all feedback. Till next time.